So moving on then to today's new learning, which is multiplying by 2 digits. Now we have done this briefly in class before, but I do want to do a little recap, starting back with a concrete representation. I didn't have enough Lego bricks to show you this one, so I've sort of cheated and done a little bit of photo editing to make it look like I've got the Lego here. What I've basically done is there's 10 here and 3 here. So that's making 13 in each of these columns, and then there's 14 altogether. So the whole point of me doing this with concrete then is just to show you that when we're finding 14 times 3, we could individually count all of these blocks to get the answer, or we could divide it up a little bit to make it a little bit easier. So what we're effectively doing is 14 times 10, so 10 lots of 14 there, and 14 lots of 3, and then we're adding them together. And we can split that up even further by saying that 14 times 10 is the same as 10 times 10, and 4 times 10, and 14 times 3 is the same as 10 times 3, and 4 times 3. So to work out 14 times 3, we've actually got to do 4 calculations. 10 times 10, 4 times 10, 10 times 3, and 4 times 3. So I've also got a pictorial representation for you there, so you can see. So I've just done lines and dots for 10s and 1s for this one. And just to show you that this is how you find the answer, you're doing 14 times 13, which is the same as 14 times 10, and add 14 times 3, and then you can split these up again like we did before. So hopefully now when we look at the abstract, you'll understand a little bit more about what we're doing. I'm going to leave that there while I show you what the abstract looks like for 14 times 3. So we set it out in the same way as we did before, and this time slightly different. We're going to have a double answer here, and then our final answer is going to be here. Because what we're actually doing is we're doing 3 lots of 14 first, and then we're going to do 10 lots of 14. You don't have to put this bit in the brackets, I'm doing it just to show you where the answers are coming from. So let's do 3 times 14 first then. So this is exactly what we were doing earlier in the week. 3 times 4 is 12, which is 2 1s and 1 10. And 3 times 10, 1 10 is 3 10s, add that 1 10 gives us 4 10s altogether, okay? So that is 3 lots of 14, 42. So I've done my 3 lots. I'm now going to do 10 lots of 14. Now I do know how to do that in my head, but I'm going to do it like this anyway to show you for when the numbers get bigger. So I'm going to do 10 lots of 4 first. Now 10 lots of 4 is 4 10s. So there's no 1s and there's 4 10s. And then we're going to do 10 lots of 10. Well, 10 10s is 100. So that goes in the hundreds column. So I've now got 10 lots of 14. And then to finish it off, just like here, so what I've got here is 3 lots of 14 and 10 lots of 14, and now I'm going to add them all together. So 2 add 0 is 2, 4 10s add 4 10s is 8 10s, and then I've got 100, giving me the answer 182. So 14 times 13 is 182. I do have a step-by-step version, which I'm just going to show you now, which was on the PowerPoint, just in case you wanted a little breakdown of what I was doing there for each of the calculations. If you want to freeze, you can have a look and go through that. Okay, I'm going to do one more example for you before I introduce today's activity. This time I'm just going to do the abstract. Of course, you can draw it if that's helpful. And if you want to do the numbers in brackets at the side to help you, you can. So this time I'm going to do 26 times 34. So effectively what I'm doing is I'm going to take 4 lots of 26 first, And then I'm going to do 30 lots of 26. This is why it's really important to remember that that is a 30, thinking about place value. And then I'm going to add them together to make 34 lots. So starting with our 4 then, so we can just ignore this 30 for a minute. 4 times 6 is 24, which is 4 ones and 2 tens. 2 tens times 4 is 8 tens. Add the 2 tens we've already got, gives us 10 tens, which is 100. So that part is already done. Now, I find sometimes this little one that we've exchanged here, which is a 2 in this case, can get in the way. So if you want to cross that out once you've dealt with it, you could do, if you find that easier. Right, now we're going to do 30 times 26. So we're now ignoring this 4. We've done the 4 bit, we can move on. So 3 tens times 6 is 18 tens, which is 180. So that's 0 ones, 8 tens, and because we've got 100, we're going to put it down there so we can add it on in a second. I've then got 3 tens times 2 tens. So 3 tens times 2 tens, I know that 3 times 2 is 6. So 3 tens times 2 tens is going to be 600. Add on to that 100 gives us 700, which means that altogether, now we're going to add them up. 4 and 0 is 4. 8 tens add 0 tens is 8 tens. And 100 add 700 is 800. So 26 times 34 is 884. Okay, I'm now going to show you your tasks. Now, if you're finding this quite tricky to multiply by double digits, don't worry, have a little go. There's not as many today. There's a couple of straightforward ones, and there's a couple of problem-solving ones, and there's a little bit more of an open-ended extension at the end. And if you keep the video rolling, there's a slightly more zoomed-in version for you.